We're good. Let's kick off. All right, so everyone, we just wanted to get the cartel together to talk about the contributor program. I know everyone's been waiting for that eagerly, so we're just going to walk through what we've been preparing. We've put a lot of thought into this, all the different work streams, and how to manage this going forward, and just continue building together. All right, boom. So my screen should be sharing right now, and what everyone should be able to see right now is the public bulletin that we're going to push out live in a couple days. In our opinion, we put a lot of research into all the different DAOs of how people can get activated and contributed, and then lastly, obviously compensated for their efforts in building this with us. We think we put out something pretty simple for everyone to use. I'll just give a quick overview of this, as well as what's going to be coming next week. The public bulletin outlines how people in the community, whether you're technical or non-technical, how they can contribute. We have 1, 2, 3. Please add the Redacted calendar to your calendar going forward. We're going to have a bunch of events, whether it be from the contributor side or from the dev side, from Kieran, Never Defined, as well as Sammy with some of the public AMAs. A bunch of those events will be listed on the calendar. So if you don't want to miss that, please subscribe to the calendar. Nextly, you'll want to click on how to contribute. We break down basically the difference between our contributor program. We have bounties, which are essentially one-off, tightly scoped work. And then we have project work, which is more collaborative in nature and typically longer as well. So we have these two avenues for anyone to come in. So if you're more of a mercenary and you just want to get off and work up by yourself, bounties is probably suited for you. We'll show the tool that we're using for that. And then if you want to collaborate on different projects with people, that we have the avenue as well. And highly encourage everyone to read through this and how it's structured, how the rewards work. And if you have any questions, just feel free to drop it in community call chatter as I'm going through, and Magnus or Dbag will bring that up. Lastly, so when you actually want to get involved with a bounty or project, we have a process where you just come in and click the buttons here or there, and it'll bring you to either a submission form or the bounty. So let's click the bounty board, for example. We're going to be using DWork. DWork, it's great because it's integrated with all our needs. So for example, if you want to help out with the creative design and content, as we start to build out the educational content over at Redacted, there will be a bunch of Kanban style tasks that people can come in, review the task, review the acceptance criteria, and submit their work. And you can see on the right-hand side, there's tags and also task points. And then lastly, there will be the task reward. So people can earn butterfly rewards by accomplishing these bounties.
Yeah, guys, also in regards to DWork, this is all on chain. So it'll make the workflow a lot more seamless. We're just trialing this for now, and hopefully it works out the way we envision it working out.
Exactly.
Also, one more point to add here. You can also feel free to suggest bounties through the community suggestions column. So if you see something that you have an idea for and you don't see it on here, absolutely feel free to suggest it. We'll review it and then possibly bring that over to a bounty that you can also take, complete as well.
Yes, amen to that. The suggestions column is very powerful. We're going to also have an avenue for people to suggest projects as well, as work stream leads may have blind spots, and we want the community to be able to have an avenue to suggest their ideas. So let's talk about a work stream and how to get involved. So if you want to get involved with, for example, the creative design, content education, and we have some folks from that work stream here as well, and you want to get involved, just read over the description of the stream, the skill sets that might be helpful for the work stream. Again, the bounties for that work stream, and then you can apply to help out with that work stream. So if you want to help out with the education and planning, you would click.
So that's the conservatory, just an FYI, guys.
Yes, the Redacted conservatory. You would just fill out this contributor application, fill out the work stream that you want to help out with, the projects that you'd like to help out with, your background, anything that would help us situate you better, and your capacity, how many hours you can allocate, and what you're trying to bring to Redacted. And then just hit submit and we'll get it, and then we'll add you to the work stream. Pretty simple. So yeah, that's basically an overview of the public bulletin, how anyone can get involved to contributing and building this with us. And nextly, we're going to go over our digital office space. So we've actually put together an office space. It's really important as we're building together that we find ways to have events and co-working and in a better way than just having like this Discord call we're having right now. What if we're able to communicate in a digital atmosphere? We've kind of settled on Gather. We've had some events in the past on Gather. So we've created basically our own redacted work area where we can all connect together day to day, 24/7. Community members can come together, hop into meetings together, play games, ride around, whatever. This will just bring our community stronger. As you guys can see, we have Magnus in the space as well. So we definitely want to use this every day going forward, and we'll have it publicly available to everyone. And there you go. You see Magnus riding around the go-kart. Lastly, contact. So I think some pain points we discovered over the last month as we did an internal audit was like, who do I contact for, dev? Who do I contact for partnerships? We want it to be really seamless. So we have the full directory of the team. So you can come in and figure out who you need to contact if you have any questions.
If you are having difficulty or just being able to, approach someone that you would like to talk to in specifics, you can always direct it to one of the mods. Like currently it's the guys with the red tags, the Leppies, as most of you know, they're pretty active anyway. So
let's start taking some questions in the audience, and then we'll discuss what's next in terms of some of the proposals that are going to be put out on Commonwealth. Are there any questions about the contributor program, or was it straightforward?
Just feel free to drop it in the chat, guys. I am monitoring the chat.
Nicholas says, yeah, man. So I guess we're ready to rock and roll. All right. Magnus, D-Bag, anything else to add before we discuss the proposal that will be put out?
Nothing, I think.
Nothing that comes to mind from my end. Sorry, go on, D-Bag.
Really, just to sum it up, guys, we have two tracks, bounties and projects. Projects are really something that you can all see on the bulletin and apply towards, and we'll vet and reach out, see how we can immerse you into these projects. And bounties are just one-off tasks that we're going to use D-Work for, so feel free to go in there and just get, find any task that fits your bill and participate. That's pretty much it.
Any ideas on the butterfly reward size for completing projects, etc.? Okay, so Pink, basically, we will have a proposal that we'll be putting live on Commonwealth, and basically it'll illustrate the amount of budget that we've allocated to a particular stream, and like I guess it's up to us as like core team, like early members, that are we gonna allocate a certain amount of money per like sub project. So some of these sub projects that are currently live, for example, stuff like the conservatory, as we mentioned before, like the newsletter, redacted radio, things like that, and it'll bring a bit more clarity once that like proposal goes live. So we're going to try and release that maybe in the next 24 hours or so. We just want to get the rest of the team to review what we've put together, and then we'll put it up on Commonwealth for everyone to provide some feedback.
Yeah,
I hope that answers your question, Pink.
Also, this proposal will highlight and how the structures and tooling and the flow of how everyone will get paid out. So stay tuned for that as well.
Correct, yeah. And we'll also be using did we mention we're using Coordinape? I don't know if we did.
Nope, let's mention that, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure how many of you guys are familiar with using Coordinape, but the idea is that it's like an on-chain tool that basically you can allocate like a proxy token called Give, and we can add people into these coordinate circles for particular projects and streams, and based on your contributions, you can easily see what it is and all the different touch points that you have within the different projects. And then we can also utilize that as a check of all the different work that you've done or that particular time frame that we've designated to. I hope I've covered the points enough. That's a pretty high level. Like we'll be utilizing Coordinape as well.
Like what we outlined in the document that will be coming out in 24 hours is it's really important that everyone reviews like essentially the flow of the budget. Essentially, the workstream leads will assign budgets to different projects and sub projects. So, we have Tez here, who's in the audience. Let's use Tez as an example, who is helping with the Redacted Radio community podcast. So that would be a sub project, for example, under the community stream. So there'd be a flow of funds from the workstream lead to that workstream to that sub project. And then within that sub project, they would be opted into a coordinate circle. As Magnus said, that coordinate circle allows for social consensus and basically tracking of contribution. And that will allow for, I guess, very transparent, compensation packages. Similarly, on the bounty side, we chose to use DWork because it's fully transparent. Everyone can see the tasks that are available. And as Magnus mentioned, there's an on-chain record of contributions. So those are the two tools we're using. And then again, it will be outlined in the document that we'll be providing as a proposal to the community.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's helpful with DWork is that one of the problems that we had previously was that when we put up a particular bounty, people can go for it, but you have no idea if someone else was going for it. So with DWork, you can put a bounty up, someone can claim it, and then basically it indicates to other people that like they can't have a go at that particular bounty until it frees up or until it's completed, kind of thing. But we're still trying to figure this out, guys. But for the most part, I think we're on the right track.
Yeah, keep in mind, guys, we're embarking on some new frontier with how this all works. So playing around with a lot of tools. So any feedback in your guys' experience is greatly appreciated. Just throw it in one of the channels, chats, and we'll try to address them and figure out the best way to make this more optimized moving forward.
Yeah, if there's a reason that we're taking a different approach from maybe some other DAOs, it's because we're trying to learn from other DAOs and trying to build the best contributor program. And it starts with everyone on this call. So if you guys have any feedback, as D-Bag mentioned, feel free to drop it in this chat, and we'll work together on it.
Any last questions? I've shared the Gather space that we're going to be using. So it's a public one that we've left open for everyone. So jump in, have a go, see what it's like. We use it a lot already, and I hope to see you guys in there.
Yeah, why don't we end the call here, and then if there's any questions, let's all hop and gather and we can chat for a little and let everyone enjoy the rest of the weekend.